Right now at 6, the man accused of bringing guns to Wisconsin's Capitol has pleaded guilty.
And a grant is making it possible for more kids to build on their outdoor activity skills.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Inattentive driving sent one boy to the hospital after a UTV crash Sunday night. That's according to the Trumpereau County Sheriff's Office. According to a release, 2 juveniles were in a UTV on Thompson Cooley Road when it ran off the road into a ditch and down a steep embankment. The UTV hit a tree before turning onto its side. Both occupants were boys under the age of 18. The driver was taken by ambulance to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The passenger had only minor injuries and was released to his parents.
A man who brought guns to Wisconsin's state capitol has pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. Joshua Plesnick is accused of coming to the Capitol in October while armed with a handgun. He was demanding to see Governor Tony Evers. He was arrested, posted bail, and then returned to the building that night, this time with a rifle and baton hidden in his backpack. He was arrested again and charged with carrying a firearm in a public building. Online records show Plesnick pleaded guilty to that charge in May. He was sentenced to 30 days in the Dane County Jail with work release privileges.
A new program will help Wisconsin employers comply with substance abuse prevention policies. Today, Wisconsin's Department of Workforce Development announced a new searchable database. That database will include substance abuse prevention policies for everyone who performs public works projects. In Wisconsin, every employer must have a written policy to prevent substance abuse before starting a public works or utility project. The new database will allow contractors to know if they meet the requirements under state law.
An Eau Claire candidate for Congress says she can reflect blue-collar Wisconsin interests. Rebecca Cook is running a second time for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district. In the 2022 primary, she won the most counties but finished 5,000 votes behind Brad Pfaff. Last election cycle, she was a political newcomer. Now she says her message can reach even more voters.
I think people are looking for more working class candidates that have really walked a mile in their shoes, and people that really turn out, especially in rural counties. You know, I won population centers like Eau Claire County and Portage County, but I also won a lot of rural counties. And so I think, you know, really working to show up and not writing any place off because it's too red or too small or too far away, I think that means a lot to voters.
Cook, State Representative Katrina Shanklin from Stevens Point, and Eric Wilson are all running for the Democratic nomination this August.
La Crosse area kids got to experience life as a scout thanks to a new grant funding pop-up day camps. Gateway Area Council hosted the day camp at Camp Decorah today. Kids engaged in activities like archery, fishing, first aid training, and rock climbing. The day camp was funded through a grant by the La Crosse Community Foundation after multiple Compass Now reports showed that 2 in 5 households rated youth activities in the area as poor. Gateway Area Council applied for a grant to bridge this gap. They were awarded $10,000 to host multiple pop-up day camps this summer, giving area children the opportunities local scouts get to experience.
Parents want kids off the screen in the summer. They want their kids making new friends, having new experiences, engaging in new things, which is what Cub Scouting has always been about. But by offering camps like this, we're able to help meet that community need and keep kids busy with productive, fun, exciting activities.
This is the first of 7 day camps offered by Gateway this summer. Children in 2nd through 6th grades are welcome to sign up. Parents can do that at gatewayscouting.org.
A new mural is coming to downtown La Crosse. Gunderson has commissioned 2 artists to create a mural on a 3rd Street wall. The artists are Neo Medina from Kaukauna, which is near Green Bay, and La Crosse native Chase Gentry. Gentry says the mural will represent the fun side of downtown La Crosse and promote social cohesion. He hopes people will find something new to look at every time they see it, and the mural should be completed by next week.
Well, we have some storms making their way through the Coulee region this evening, and then tomorrow, Greg, we're heating up significantly.
Yeah, to give you a taste of it right now, Prairie du Chien has 88. Their actual heat index is 94 already, so it gives you an idea where the sun has come out, especially even La Crosse. We've actually climbed up. We're going to probably see our high temperature in the next couple hours because the sun is finally out, but a different story up to the north where it's only 70 degrees right now. So really this evening, we still got those thunderstorms come through. They're going to get close to La Crosse. It's still kind of up in the air if we're going to get hit, but it's probably between about about 8 to 9. Notice the temperatures barely falling off at 77. We will see clearing skies later. Eau Claire is going to see on and off showers and thunderstorms probably through this evening. Hard to tell exactly time frame, but I think after 10 they'll probably see a decrease in coverage of that. But temperatures really not moving much because they got the cloud cover. There's your watch out right now. It's for some activity really kind of in Iowa that we're keeping an eye on. Right now, the only severe stuff we have is actually just a special weather statement for this line that kind of is stalled out for some heavy rain. But otherwise, everything is out to the north of the area as we go through and to the south of Eau Claire right now, but they'll actually probably see more. Overall, as we go throughout the night, you'll see that trend continue to push further north, and eventually by probably 10 p.m. it'll be north of Eau Claire, and then later on it'll be probably north of there. But notice the temperatures are not going to get much cooler than the mid-70s. So tomorrow we do have the heat, especially in the afternoon. We'll track how warm it could get, when it might cool down, and how wet it might be for the rest of the week too. All that coming a bit later in the broadcast. I keep saying forecast, broadcast.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, it's not just the Midwest that will be feeling the heat. Tens of millions of Americans will be experiencing high temperatures this week as a system moves east.
Yeah, Tara Molina has more on the first heat wave of the season for many areas from Chicago.
The heat will soon be on in New York City, where the temperature could near 100 degrees later this week.
This is extremely hot for June, and New Yorkers should not underestimate the heat.
In Phoenix, shipping containers are serving as cooling centers. It reached 112 degrees on Saturday, and forecasters say the first 2 weeks of June have been over 5 degrees hotter than normal, a new record. It's getting more challenging at the Phoenix Zoo to keep animals cool.
The way I see it, as soon as we start feeling uncomfortable, that's probably when it's time to start misting them down.
Here in Chicago, temperatures could rise into the triple digits with a threat of thunderstorms that could bring heavy rainfall and strong winds. Over the weekend, there were strong gusts and dust storms in northern Illinois.
Holy crap! There goes the trampoline. Goodbye.
In Bloomingdale, Michigan, Jeremiah Ashbrook shot video of a storm hitting his village. The possibility of more severe weather in the southeast prompted Houston Public Works to lower Lake Houston by a foot.
Very hot out.
But it's the heat that's affecting most areas. Those concerned about their lawn as the mercury rises should make sure to provide at least an inch of water a week.
As it gets hot, the demands for water will increase.
Of course, the same holds true for humans who need to increase their water intake as the temperatures rise. Tara Molina, CBS News, Chicago.
And that extreme heat can have a big impact on your health.
Especially for those with asthma, but there are some precautions to help keep you safe.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
Don't believe Tammy Baldwin's TV ads. Believe her record. Baldwin voted against $800 million for narcotic detection at our border. She voted against more Border Patrol agents, against tougher sentences for drug traffickers here illegally. No wonder overdose deaths have skyrocketed on Baldwin's watch, with cartel activity right here in Wisconsin. Two-faced Tammy, a hypocrite we can't trust. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Now get financing as low as 1.9% for 66 months on Bronco Sport, Explorer, Edge, and Escape, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty steak patty sandwiches paired with a $2 medium iced coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I devised a plan to find better home internet, guys. Madison, you scout the web for the best deals. And Ellen...
Avoid that hassle and go with U.S. Cellular Home Internet. No more guesswork, and it is faster than ever.
U.S. Cellular new and improved home internet. Just $34.99 when bundled with a wireless plan.
The U.S. Surgeon General is calling for warning labels on social media the same way we have them for alcohol and tobacco.
Today, in a New York Times op-ed, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy wrote the labels, quote, would regularly remind parents and adolescents that social media has not been proved safe. In a public advisory issued last year, Murthy cited a study that found adolescents who used social media for more than 3 hours a day faced double the risk of mental health outcomes, including depression and anxiety. Experts say young people are especially vulnerable because their frontal lobe, or decision-making part of the brain, isn't fully developed yet.
They really are going to focus on what feels like kind of the most compelling, most exciting, most interesting thing right in front of them. And sometimes that's going to have high risk to it that they're not able to fully evaluate the way an adult would.
Congress would have to pass legislation to create warning labels. Some lawmakers have voiced support, but say it's just the first step and legal guardrails are needed to keep kids safe.
Around 25 million people in the U.S. have asthma.
And this time of year, thunderstorms and summer weather can worsen symptoms.
Experts say research shows asthma sufferers are at increased risk of needing to go to the emergency room during severe weather. But there are ways for patients to protect themselves.
One, I think if somebody has asthma, trying to really do some reflection about what seems to be the triggers. Is it driven by allergy? Do you have associated allergic rhinitis or inflammation of the sinuses related to allergy?
If allergies trigger asthma, reduce exposure by staying indoors in times of high pollen. Take allergy or asthma medicine as prescribed. Avoid touching your eyes, shower and change clothes after being outdoors to remove pollen, and keep windows closed. Menka says it's also frequently check forecasts.
Knowing where to find pollen counts, air quality index reports in your area to see what it's like outside, before you go outside.
Menka says to go over best treatment options with your doctor and formulate a plan on what to do if symptoms increase. The CDC says high-efficiency filters in your air conditioning system at home can also help stop outdoor allergens from coming inside. Just make sure your HVAC system can use high-efficiency filters before installing them.
Well, summer means it's road trip season and RV sales are on the rise.
And experts say that uptick is a good sign for the economy.
And though some will see some storms tonight, maybe severe this evening, everyone more is going to see the dangerous hot conditions we have in store for Tuesday. I'll track how hot it's going to get, as well as what we might see a cool down finally. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, and choosing that it was the right time was just a really exciting moment. It turned out that my baby had a diagnosis that would be incompatible with life. It wasn't just that my baby wasn't going to survive, but I was at risk for hemorrhaging when I delivered. I met with my doctor and we went over the risks and benefits. I made a really informed decision, just like you would for any other procedure you're going to have. I'm a nurse and I'm an example of a woman who had to have a procedure to be able to save my life and to not watch my baby die. And now Donald Trump supports laws that could take that procedure away across this country.
54 years they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
Without that procedure, I would not have been able to get pregnant again. But the good news is, a year later, I had my son. If Trump gets elected again, I fear for women.
ABPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,050.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Are you looking for a high-paying career without any experience?
Chart Industries has the opportunity you've been waiting for. Starting wage $30 per hour, highest pay in the area, guaranteed 40 hours, and so much more. If you are making less than $60,000 and want a healthy work-life balance, apply at jobs.chartindustries.com today. That's jobs.chartindustries.com.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Anyone interested in buying a recreational vehicle?
No, not personally, but a good amount of people are out there, and that could be good news for the economy.
The RV Industry Association is reporting shipments for the high-ticket items are moving up for the year. Those orders are based on projected sales. In the past, RV sales have correlated with recessions and booms. That's because they're such big-ticket luxury purchases, people don't usually buy them unless they're feeling pretty good about things.
If the industry is right and sales do improve, it could be a sign consumers have plenty of disposable income. And that would correlate with expectations the Federal Reserve will start lowering interest rates this year.
I have never traveled in an RV before.
I don't think I have either, and the prospect of driving one kind of gives me anxiety, and I'm not even in the RV.
Yeah, it's one of those things like maybe down the line. I was thinking about it. I would like to incorporate camping into my future, but I don't know about RV camping. Later down the line. Yeah, smaller scale, exactly. Exactly. But, well, we don't have particularly great camping weather starting tomorrow. It's going to be really hot out there, Greg.
Yeah, tonight we don't, and it's going to be muggy and throughout tomorrow too, and then it becomes wet for the second half of the week too. But we still got some even storms to talk about. Some could be severe. It's a lot likely that a lot of people will not see much in the way of storms or even severe stuff this evening or overnight. Everyone's going to see a lot more hot, windy conditions. Humidity is going to be high. It's definitely going to be the hottest period we've seen in quite a while. Thunderstorms return Tuesday night with another cold front coming through. That's the good news. We'll keep an eye on severe weather, but it will cool down Wednesday. The severe thunderstorm watch this evening is till 12 a.m. Really today probably focused in northeast Iowa, southeast Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, right in that area right there where the potential is as this whole line begins to lift north. Right now, there's only a special weather statement out. That's for thunderstorms that are kind of subsevere. We're talking winds up to 50, 55 miles per hour and maybe some hail. Right now, it's beginning to push a little bit up to north, but so far, that is the only activity. A lot of it is struggling to develop further into Iowa, and that's kind of the note we're seeing. We're seeing some activity to the south as it lifts up, but it does struggle to stay strong thunderstorms. Otherwise, up to the north, we'll start seeing all this spread across the area. So showers and thunderstorms more likely as you go further north. By the time we get to about 9 to 10, I think everything will be north of I-90 if there is anything left. And then maybe about 10 to 11, it should be more north of I-94. And then Ladysmith, probably around maybe about midnight, you'll start seeing it all push to the north. Otherwise, everyone's going to see warm, muggy conditions overnight. We're not going to barely get below mid-70s for some locations. So it'll be a warm start to your really for your Tuesday, and that's just the start of things coming. Tomorrow, just temperatures will soar back into the 80s by mid-morning quickly, and we should be in the 90s by the time we get to the afternoon, along with the south wind that'll pick up too. So it'll be breezy to windy conditions. The front will be to the west. You'll start seeing showers and thunderstorms developing out there probably towards the late afternoon. Won't impact probably the more evening commute. It'll be more just to the tail end of it to the west. You'll start seeing some of it approach. We'll see how strong it is right now. It does look fairly strong that it would approach Eau Claire, but a lot of times this will weaken, so we'll see. The severe potential is there. As it pushes further east, we'll see that activity probably weaken, so the severe threat does weaken as you go further east. Probably about 9 to 10, we'll start seeing some of this activity approach La Crosse. There's your severe threat. It is a slight risk, but it is just to the west because we are approaching in the evening and after sunset hours as it gets closer to Eau Claire and La Crosse. But it could get, I think the biggest threat with this would be wind because it'll probably pick up a little speed as it approaches to the southeast. So we'll keep an eye on that. The other reason is the heat. This is heat risk. Gives you an idea based on climatology, temperatures at night, how unusual this is. We're looking at maybe major. Tomorrow we could see extreme conditions down to southern Wisconsin, more as you go major. So definitely a heat risk that will be taken into account. Temperature-wise, this is what it apparently will feel like as we go throughout the day. Noon, probably already in the 90s, but by the time we get to the afternoon, those temperatures are going to be 95. Potentially some areas could get up to 100 degrees at times with the heat index, and this will go throughout the evening until we get that front, which won't come until probably later at night. So it's going to be a hot afternoon and probably a hot evening as we go throughout. But overall for tonight, we still got that thunderstorm threat, mainly I-90 northward. It won't last all night. Muggy conditions overnight, and then as we go tomorrow, we still have hot conditions of the alert day, usually just in the afternoon through the evening. Showers and thunderstorms come Tuesday night. Wednesday, more or less, I think a lot more clouds than actually precipitation, and then that front kind of sits to our south of the area, and we have a wet period potentially Wednesday night all the way through the weekend, which could include some significant rainfall. We'll have to keep track on that, but definitely stay hydrated and stay indoors tomorrow if you can.
And it could mean more gnats.
The bugs are out, and there'll be more bugs.
And they're not going anywhere.
No, they're not going anywhere.
Overwhelming yesterday.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers are back on the road tonight, beginning a 7-game trip out west. Plus the green and gold gearing up for the upcoming season. And now the Packers training camp dates are finally official. Rob is up next.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Nomo lets you check on mom, day or night. Nomo's no-camera motion sensors let you check on mom from across the street, across the state, or across the country. Dialing 911 connects you to your local emergency services. You can't call 911 directly for mom unless she's local too.
But if there's an emergency, Rapid SOS provides a direct connection to emergency services immediately. Rapid SOS is integrated with 911 services nationwide. Our 24/7 safety agents can dispatch emergency services where they're needed with critical information first responders need to know.
When things are normal, it's good to know. When things aren't normal, it could be serious, so you need to know.
With Rapid SOS, mom can get help fast,
dependable,
accessible.
That's Nomo.
Enhanced by Rapid SOS.
Nomo Smart Care. N-O-M-O Smart Care.
Gutters and gutter protection. New seamless steel fascia gutters. New K-style aluminum gutters. Available in 25 colors and gutter protection to keep your gutter clean. Seamless steel siding, insulated vinyl siding, standard vinyl siding. Soffit, fascia, and window trim. The Board Store Home Improvements, making aging homes new again for over 30 years. Superior products installed correctly for less than most others. New windows, door, a deck, or sunroom. The Board Store Home Improvements, 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
The NFL season is inching closer and closer by the day. We're less than 12 weeks away from the Packers season opener in Brazil the first week of September. And now we officially know when the green and gold plan on kicking off training camp. July 22nd is the date. That'll be the first of 8 open practices in 10 days to close out the month. The Pack will start August with an open practice on the 1st. Family Night will take place on the 3rd, just a week before the team heads to Cleveland for week 1 of the NFL preseason, August 10th, against the Browns. Packers will have a joint practice with the Broncos before their week 2 matchup in Denver. And before you know it, week 1 of the regular season will be here. Packers in Brazil taking on the Eagles September 6th. On the softball diamond tonight, the Steam are back on the road searching for their second win of the season. La Crosse won its franchise opener Saturday night in a thriller. Different story last night in Madison. Steam falling 18-1. We'll see if La Crosse can get back on track tonight before they head back to the Shipyard tomorrow for 2 against Madison. Game 1 set for just after 5. As for the Loggers, they've been off since Friday when they fell to the Hot Tots. La Crosse has dropped 4 of its last 5, but the Loggers are back at it tomorrow night in Eau Claire as they begin a 2-game set against the Express before finally heading back to La Crosse on Thursday to take on Rochester. On the Pro Diamond, the Brewers begin a 7-game road trip out west tonight, starting in Anaheim. What a way to end the homestand Sunday. Blake Perkins, tough night Friday, made up for it yesterday. Game-saving throw from center. Willie Contreras with the tag. That's how this one ended. Brewers make it 2 out of 3 over the rival Reds as they hang on 5-4 in the series finale. Now the Crew heads out west. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going tonight. They open a 3-game set against the Angels. First pitch a little after 8:30. Don't take that Ovaltine too early. It's a late night for you guys.
Late night indeed.
I love those late starts, but it's tough as I get older.
Yeah.
I mean, that game's not going to end until probably 12 o'clock.
Hard to pull off for sure.
Those diehards will be there.
Now, there is a concern with William Contreras because if you were watching the game Sunday, he was kind of on the ground after that collision. Not in the lineup tonight.
Tough.
Not on the injured list yet.
Yeah.
But
get worried. I mean, everyone's been stepping up.
Yeah.
All those guys have been stepping up. It's a good team so far.
But potentially,
don't get too nervous. I see the nerves on his face.
Potentially a 10-day stint.
A little negative. He's a little negative, but he's passionate. I think passion sometimes brings negativity.
I just need him to be okay.
I know. I got you. Take a couple of days off. It's a tough trip.
He hasn't had a lot of days off this season either.
Yep, a little jet lag will hurt you.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, we'll have another look at your forecast right after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
How did CEO Eric Hovde become a multimillionaire California banker? Let's take a look. Hovde's family rigged the system to rake in $30 million in government subsidies and loans. And now he's sheltering his wealth in shady tax havens around the world. So it's no surprise Hovde supports more tax cuts for corporations and millionaire bankers like himself, while working families pay the price. That's bank CEO Eric Hovde. Never been on our side, never will be. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
All right, we still got some storms this evening, potential severe, but then attention turns to the heat that we'll see on Tuesday. Showers, thunderstorms come back Tuesday night and a cool down for Wednesday. So definitely stay hydrated and stay safe.
Have extra Ovaltine on hand, right?
Gonna need it all.
Hydrated.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.